So let's talk about it. Halo Infinite has no co-op campaign. And hell, we don't even know if we're going to get a campaign. Yo, we don't even know if we're getting a campaign with Halo. Yo, this is why we doing this, man. Now, y'all remember when Xbox Series X first released? I was on here giving my rant, talking about Sony. Sony can't touch us, boo-boo. And then Sony smacked me with a game lineup. Miles Morales pimp slapped me. Okay? I was hurt. And then Halo Infinite didn't drop. All I was relying on was Game Pass. And thank God Bethesda saved my life. Because without Bethesda and that lineup of games that started to come later, we would have been done. We would have been done. But Halo Infinite says it won't have a co-op campaign at launch, nor will it have Forge mode. What are you doing? What are you doing? I give you all the game over sound. What? No, that was the wrong one. I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. I got a little carried away. But Halo Infinite. Now, first of all, my man Joe drew a picture, okay? He drew a picture. I'm going to go ahead and pull this picture up. This is exactly what he said the cover of Halo Infinite is going to look like. And I think this is a wonderful, wonderful picture, Joe. I think it's only right that I show it here, right there. So I'm going to pull it up on screen here. We're going to go ahead and pull it up. Bam. There we go. Now you see, you got Bunjo there. We know it's 343, okay? We know that, but it's all good, okay? This is what my man Joe is saying we getting. This is how, now look, Sony fans can do that to me right now. They got every right to trash me because we're not going to have a co-op campaign mode or Forge. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, well, Nick, Halo is mostly multiplayer anyway. As long as you get the multiplayer down, we're good to go. I agree. Halo is mostly multiplayer. It was founded to me on the great multiplayer experience. But let's not get it twisted. Halo had legendary campaigns. Legendary. I mean, many people, family included, can think of moments during a Halo campaign that was legendary. Beautiful landscapes, wide, big environments. I mean, Halo is pretty much perfect for the Battle Royale. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody thinks Halo is not ready for the Battle Royale, then y'all crazy. Halo was bred for Battle Royale. So if you do a Battle Royale mode, thank you. And you don't have to do no 100 players type shit. I don't even want that. Do about 60 players. Teams of 30 versus 30. Give wide scale environments. Give the Warthog. Give, all the other ones. I forgot the other one. Starts with an S. But, the alien ship. I can't. Oh, gosh. Come on, guys. But no, you know what I'm talking about. But let people have the Battle Royale on this. At least for multiplayer. We have watched the technical preview. We've seen Team Deathmatch. Capture the Flag. We've seen all these different modes. But Forge mode being gone is a huge hit, y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. Forge mode being gone is a huge hit. Because Forge mode is going to be a lot of our content for months to come. People might think, oh, Forge mode, making your own mode, that's not nothing. You don't understand the community of Halo. The Halo community is serious, bro. They are like serious. If you give the Halo community Forge mode, and you're taking things within Forge, let's remind you, they're enhancing everything in Forge. So you're going to have things from previous Halos also included in the new Halo. So you're going to be able to have new features while accessing all of the old things. Forge mode would probably be like what Fortnite has right now in its community. Okay, and a lot of you go to Fortnite creative mode. I've seen people who not even play the actual Battle Royale side of Fortnite and literally just go to creative. It will be the same thing with Forge mode. But guess what? We're not getting that! Why? Stop it! Stop it! We need that! No co-op campaign? Halo! I'ma slap you! What are you doing? Now, there has been multiple things mentioned about why we are not getting Forge mode and why we are not getting co-op campaign. I am going to read this. And this blarb, I do not want you guys to take like it's just the bread and butter of everything. But this is claimed to be a 343 developer. And he gave a lot of explanation about why we are seeing these delays, about the constraints they're being put through. So I want to go ahead, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because my man went on a goddamn rant. Okay, and I'm not down for the rant stuff. But let's go ahead and pull it up. So it says a lot of people are frustrated with the announcement. So I thought I'd shed some light on it because we are insanely frustrated internally too. Not because the delay happened, not at all, but because we wanted to tell you earlier. The team has been pushing not just delays to Forge and co-op, but campaign in general. I can see multiplayer making release date in great state, with basically all of the main modes plus a couple grab bag goodies, including some original stuff we're cooking up. A different variant of infection mode with original resources and a severely updated invasion mode with new maps. However, campaign is under some massive strain. Massive. Now, I'm gonna read a paragraph. We'll scroll through some of this, but I'll be blunt. We knew Chris was leaving a good while before it happened, and the campaign component has aggressively course corrected in his absence. There were small changes to multiplayer 2 under Joseph, but multiplayer was more Pierre's baby than anything. And all that happened there were small changes to the direction of gun balance and general gameplay. But the campaign that went through a massive overhaul, not just in writing, which got trimmed down in fat severely, and it says less is more, and the player should always understand what the F is going on, were oft repeated guidelines, but more importantly in structure. Now, I'm going to go down because, like I said, I could be reading this all day. But they said, but now what you care about first, Forge. Let's talk about Forge. Forge is just untenable, and Microsoft always knew it wouldn't be ready for the release date, if ever. And I doubt it'll come out in 6 months either. Look at that. Read it. This is why I didn't want to do this subject, man. Let me pull it back up, man. Let me pull it up. This is why I didn't want to do this subject. I told you it was going to hurt me deep. But it says that it was not going to be released possibly ever. 6 months to a year will be before we see Forge. Now, the game's not released yet. Only time will tell. But, yo, this is sounding kind of legit. Okay? Let's pull it back up. The reality is Forge isn't just a Coop map editor anymore. Not after Halo 5. And we can't release anything that isn't up to snuff to the quality of that game's Forge, which took more effort than anyone realizes. Shout out to Halo 5 Forge mode too, because by the way, if you haven't used it, use it. It is beautiful. Infinite's Forge will not only have every feature 5's had, but a lot of extra resources based on past games and custom game functionality. There's also some grumbling about Forge being released with the game spoiling a few new enemy reveals, but I doubt this is a main concern. In any case, I wouldn't be surprised if Forge came 8 months or even a year after initial release. The team is overworked, pushed hard, and tired. God damn! 343, what is going on? I will say this, guys. That is game development now. That's as real as it can get. Game development now is that with such a crunch for games to be released at specific dates, it's pretty much, we're hearing that across the board. We just heard that from Activision Blizzard. There were people complaining of, I believe, 70-hour work weeks. We got people from Ubisoft complaining about that. We got people from multiple places talking about, I mean, what is it? Eon Must Die? They're still complaining about being overworked and this game is going to still be released. Okay, this is a common thing in game development right now. A lot of game developers, you need to pay attention to this because if you're looking into developing games, this is crucial for you. When you get to these big different, I don't want to say companies because some companies have smaller projects, but let's say a big project within the company, you will realize very soon that a lot of this is expected. It's expected you to work long hours. You say you love it as much as you do. It's your baby, right? Well, prove it to me. Prove it to me. We're paying you. I'll pay you overtime. I have no problem paying you overtime. I just want to see an update by Monday. This is what they've been going through. So it don't surprise me to hear this, even if, let's say this shit is just a hoax. Let's say somebody is taking statements from all over and putting it together, making it look nice. But it's a lot of statements in here that have validity to them. So we'll move forward, all right? For a co-op campaign, the problem is much simpler. To put it bluntly, nobody thought of how it would work. The open world and several different objectives spread around the map that can be completed in any order mean that a bunch of solutions were explored for how this would work in a 4-player co-op. The first and obvious, now one thing I want to say is I do not like that about the open world and several different objectives that can be completed in any order. I don't like that. I say stick to the tried and true format of a Halo campaign. And you know, you have to, I do like the being able to explore, but you have to finish this before you can move to the next. I do like that. I don't like the, hey, open world, go to anything you want. It's kind of the approach Gears of War 5 took when playing. Like, oh, you can do this part first, you can do that. Gears of War 5 did it a little bit differently, though, and I think that's where Halo was going with it, to where it's like an open world, but it doesn't load that specific section until you go to it, and then it starts that section. So, but I'm not really feeling that. So anyway, the first and obvious was shackling players together, but even in internal playtesting, this was just not fun and considered incredibly limiting. The idea to free players to go off and do their own stuff was then proposed, which was a great idea and very welcome, if not for a few key things. The first was network, and the second and more important was checkpoints. Then he says, to be blunt, it's buggy as all hell and then some. For the first while, Respawn worked the same as old games, wait for teammates to be safe, and come back to life near them. But this caused a lot of painful issues when players were far apart and was really buggy on the code, so we didn't like it. We explored a respawn station, but the idea is too limiting. So then we proposed fixed respawn points around the map, a ways away from fighting locations, but that was both boring, dumb, stupid, whatever you want to call it, okay? And then they say, players had to walk back to fight, which, you know, was a huge delay. Nobody wants to backtrack. And also it made it so it was really hard for the entire team to get wiped, since there'd be a constant conga line of guys running from respawn. Around March, we decided to swing back to the original respawn method, and the bugs have been constant. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go through reading all of that, but guys, do we really think that's really a dev? Like, I'm not going to lie, that sounds legit. Everything about it sounds legit, especially with game development, because that's kind of how it is. But let's go to the Kotaku article about Halo Infinite not having co-op at launch. Microsoft 343 Industries announced today that the campaign co-op in Forge won't be available in Halo Infinite at launch. Instead, they'll be added to the game next year. They also promised more and bigger flights to test out game modes like Big Team Battle. And no, we still don't have a release date on when it will come. Yo, now after y'all read what I just read, it sounds pretty legit to me. It sounds pretty legit. From what they're stating, they don't know if it's ever going to come out, if it's ever going to be released. Now, I do think it is, because Halo 5, or the Legendary Edition, or whatever you want to call it, has lasted for a long time. People are still playing it. So now you have it to where this Halo will probably last for some years. I can see that Forge mode coming. Co-op campaign, I'm not sure. If they do release it, it'll be interesting to see. But I say, why not just release your have? I think a lot of companies are terrified of releasing things with bugs because of Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk has laid down the groundwork for watch your ass and don't deliver us bugs. I really think it has because a lot of people are scared. So I'm not going to drift on too much because, there's a lot of things I can say about this, but what I want to do is just read directly from what the team is saying, okay? Unfortunately, as we focused the team for shutdown and really focus on the quality experience for launch, we made a really tough decision to delay shipping campaign co-op for launch. And we also made the tough call to delay shipping Forge past launch as well. So that's what they're stating, okay? It is going to come afterwards. It doesn't say anything about single-player co-op, so at least you will still be able to get the single-player co-op experience. But co-op campaign, which pretty much defines Halo. I mean, so that's a huge hit. Your single player better be top notch. Okay, it better be top notch. So man, we done with that. Okay.